Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes. First thing, like Python software. Today I'll be discussing about the technicals of Python. All right. Python software foundation. Python software foundation, right? Yes. PSF. PSF, right? Yes. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year. It was launched in the year 2001. The main objective, right? Yes, the main objective to foster the development of Python from version to version, right? In the year 2005. In the year 2005, right? Yes, PSF, Python Software Foundation received. Yes, it received Computer World Horizon Award. Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes. Yes. The president for this Python Software Foundation is nothing but the same personality who has introduced Python. The same personality is the president for this, right? Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum, right? The personality who introduced Python and is the same personality is the president for this PSF. Headquarters, where are the headquarters located, right? Delaware, Delaware, US. Official website, official website, right? Yes. www.python.org. www.python.org is the official website, right? From where we can download it, from where we can install Python, right? Yes. So this is something about PSF, Python Software Foundation. Yes. The non-profit organization was launched in the year 2001 to foster the development of Python. The year 2005, it received Computer World Horizon Award. President Guido van Rossum, headquarters Delaware, official website python.org, right? And observe this. What are the various Python versions? Python versions, right? Yes. Python 1 version, the first version, right? Means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, the first version, right? In the year 1989. And Python 2.x version, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. The first two version was released in the year 2000. And the version what we are using currently, 3 version, right? The 3 version what we are using currently. The first 3 version was released in the year 2008. 2008. Latest version of Python. Latest version, right? Yes. Python 3.12. Python 3.12, right? Yes. Is my voice clear to all? Once again, can anyone please confirm? Hello. Latest version of Python 3.12. Stable version of Python, right? Stable version of Python. The mostly used version Python 3.11, right? Yes. Stable version, nothing but mostly used version. Mostly used version, right? Yes. 3.11, right? Yes. So this is something about the versions. The version what we are going to install, Python 3.12, the latest version we are going to install, right? Yes. Okay. Now Python installation, right? Yes. So before I install Python, right? Yes. So I'll just show you from the scratch. So ground level to the advanced level. So go to this settings, apps, apps and features. First, I'll remove Python from this and I'll just install Python, right? So Python 3.12, that is the latest version. I'm uninstalling it. So Python is going to provide Python providing different softwares for different environments. So it is going to provide different softwares for different environments. For Windows, for Linux, for Mac OS, it is going to provide different softwares. For Linux, no need of any installation, right? By default, Python comes as inbuilt within the Linux. Whenever you install Linux, Python also you are going to get along with that, right? No need of any other special installation in the Linux. But for Windows or for Mac OS, we need to install Python. For Windows, it is going to provide two softwares for Windows 32-bit and for Windows 64-bit. Python is providing two softwares for Windows 32-bit and for Windows 64-bit, right? Yes. So I'll show you how will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit. I'm minimizing this. So just to go to this Explorer, File Explorer, right? Within that, click on your PC, click on your PC and say Properties. Click on your PC and say Properties. Yes. What is the system type? 64-bit operating system. 64-bit operating system. If it is showing you 32-bit, right? If it is showing you 32-bit, you need to download 32-bit Python software. If it is 64-bit, you are supposed to download 64-bit Python software, right? Yes. Right click on your PC or computer's properties. Will show you. Now, so just check this uninstallation is successful. Close it. Now I'm opening Chrome browser. I'll open Chrome browser. Now, what is the official website I said? What is the official website for Python? www.python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python, from where we can see the documentation for Python, right? Yes, you can see the documentation for each and every Python release. What are the new features? What are the features which got removed? Everything we can see in this documentation. For downloading Python, downloads, go to all releases. So go to python.org, in that go to downloads folder. Within the downloads folders, all releases you can say, and scroll down your page, right? Scroll down, right? Looking for a specific release. Don't go for active releases. Looking for a specific release. I'm looking for a specific release. What all the releases we see from the last 20 years, all those are available from the last 20 years, right? Since from 2001 onwards. from 2001 onwards, right? Yes. What all available? From last 20 years, right? Okay. Select this latest version, 3.12.3. 3.12.3, that is the latest version. Click it and just scroll down. Scroll down, right? Scroll down your web page. Here you can see Windows installer 64-bit, Windows installer 32-bit. You can see both, right? Windows installer 64, Windows installer 32-bit. So just click this Windows installer 64-bit. Your download started here. Can you check here? One download started. So just it is 27 MB of size, right? Yes. So here just Windows installer 64-bit, Windows installer 32-bit. So if it is 32-bit OS, you are supposed to download this 32-bit. If it is 64-bit, you need to download the 64-bit. Yes. Just 1 second. Okay. Download is going in, right? 1 second. So download is almost done, right? So just whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit, right? Whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit, yes. Yeah, 32-bit, right? It's 25.5 MB of size, right? Here can you see Python 25 MB of size? It's a .exe file, right? Yes. Click it and get added into that. Click the exe file which you have downloaded. Immediately you will get this window. Everyone, you will get this window, right? Once download is done, yes. Don't immediately go for installation. Don't immediately go for installation. Say add Python to path. Click it, add Python to path, right? Yes. Add Python to path. Because you are adding Python to path variable of OS. You are adding Python to path variable of OS. and just go for customize installation. Go for customize installation. In that automatically everything got selected. Documentation, nothing to select. Say next. Say next. Here you can see, right? Here also nothing to select. Installation location, where it is getting installed. Where it is getting installed means in C, in users, in Dell, app data, local programs, Python 312, right? Somewhere in some subdirectories it is getting installed. Somewhere in the subdirectories it is getting installed, right? But I want to install, within the C drive. So keep your mouse here. Remove all this. Tomorrow, if you want to check where is your Python located, so you need to enter into all these subdirectories, right? And tomorrow, if you want to install any Python modules also, you need to enter. So remove all this. Just install Python in C drive. C/Python 312. 312 is what? 3.12, the Python version, right? Is just say install. Just say install. Your download, your installation is started, right? Yes. Just it takes hardly 30 seconds to install Python. Yeah, almost done with the installation, right? Setup was successful. Just close it. Successful setup was successful. Close this, right? Yes. Yeah. Now let us check whether it is successfully installed or not. Let us check whether it is successfully installed or not, right? Go to this at the bottom search panel, type CMD, and go to this command prompt. Go to this command prompt, right? Yes. And here just type Python. Whenever I type Python, it has to display the version, right? It has to display the version that I have installed. And it has to display the Python interpreter. Say enter, right? 3.12.3. And this Python interpreter, right? Python interpreter. Okay. 3 plus 4. 23 into 36. Any valid Python statements x as 10, y as 4. What is x? What is y? What is x plus y? X equal to Ajay. Y equal to Kumar. X equal to Ajay. Y equal to Kumar. X plus y. X plus y means Ajay Kumar. X into y. Okay. So in this way, right? Okay. We can interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives a response. Okay. Fine. Now, if you say quit here, QUIT, it will come out from this. Yes. So Python is working fine. It is installed properly, right? Yes. If anyone working in Linux environment, if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, so you need to say sudo apt-get install Python 3.12, right? Yes, if any within the Linux machine, if anybody wants to install this command is enough, it automatically downloads and installs. Yes. Okay, next. Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution, right? For Mac also same. No. For Mac directly we can install, right? You can download, you can install. For Mac OS, observe here. For Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, you have got Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, right? Okay. Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? You have two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. Interactive mode. Second is like batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Here we directly type. Here we directly type Python statements. Just now I discussed about this interactive mode, right? This is what we call interactive mode. We can easily interact with the Python for every statement. So here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact. Interact with Python statement by statement. Yes. What is the advantage of interactive mode? Advantage, right? Yes. To test the functionalities, of Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. Advantage, right? To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. If anyone doesn't know, if anyone, right, doesn't have knowledge about any particular Python functionality, you can type and check what output it is going to provide. Based on that, you can easily analyze. For testing the functionalities of Python and for learning Python. As a beginner, as a learner, this interactive mode works better, right? Batch mode. Batch mode, right? Here we write batch of statements or set. We write set of statements or batch of statements, right? Within the editors or IDEs. Within the editors or IDEs. Here we write set of statements within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py extension. Save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python We write set of statements within the editor's IDs, save it by using .py extension, and later submitting to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? And what are the various IDs where we can write the Python code, right? What are the various editors first? Various editors. Within the notepad, you can write this Python code. Yes. Within the notepad, you can write this Python code. Within the edit plus, you can write. Within the VI, within the nano, right? All this notepad within the edit plus, within the VI, within the nano editors, you can write and yes. So for Windows, Notepad and Edit Plus, right? We'll write this code. And for Linux, VI and Nano editors, right? We use. And what are the various IDs? Various IDs, right? Like PyCharm, second like PyDev. In real time, we use these IDs, right? Yes, PyCharm, PyDev. What are the various IDs supported by Python? Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, Jupyter Notebook, we say, right? Jupyter Notebook and VS Code, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, and VS Code. You may ask why these many IDs? Why these many IDs for Python, right? Why not one or two IDs? Okay, Python is used for different environments, right? Python is used for different environments. Different environments are using different IDs. Yes, Python is used for data science environment, right? This Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred. Even for big data environment, Spider is preferred. Jupyter is preferred. For typical web applications, right? This PyCharm and this VS Code is used. So different environments use these different IDs. So I'm going to show you like more all these IDs, right? PyCharm is the mostly used among all this. So the ID we are going to use is PyCharm, that is mostly used ID. And also I'm going to show you on Jupyter Notebook, on VS Code, on Spider, on Eclipse, right? How to run the code and execute the code. How to download this, how to install step by step, and how to write the code and execute the code within this IDs. Okay. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application within a editor, right? Example within the notepad. Developing the first Python application, right? Yes, within a editor. Example like notepad. Just open notepad and type the following Python statements. Open notepad and type the following Python statements. See, we didn't discuss anything about Python till now, right? So I'll just take two values and perform some kind of arithmetic operation. X value is 10, Y is 20. Hmm. I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations. print x plus y, x plus y, x minus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y, x into y, and x by y. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Just I'll copy this, right? I'll copy this to a separate file, to a separate notepad file, right? Yes. To a separate notepad file, I'll copy this. File, save. Yesterday, I created a separate folder for this batch. So within this C drive, Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Yes. Python 10 p.m. right? Yes. I'm just saving it as sample1 dot py, sample1 dot py, right? Yes. So I'm writing here save as sample1 dot py, and now submit this file, and now submit this file to Python. And now submit this file to Python as. How I'm going to submit this file, right? Yes. Yes. Just open this, type CMD here, type CMD, press enter, right. So here, observe carefully, CMD, just type Python, don't press enter. If you press enter, it will go to interactive mode. Now, give the path, give the entire file path. C colon, okay, where your file is available, C slash Python 10 p.m. batch, within this Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Slash sample1 dot py. Python is within the C drive, like Python 10 p.m. batch, sample1 dot py. Observe sample1 dot py present in which file? So see which file? Sample1 dot. It present in which folder? Present in which drive? The entire path, the drive, the folder, and this file, entire path. To submit to Python. Just it gives the output, right? Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? This is the output. But here, what is your observation? So just save it as, write that in within the notepad, save it as sample1 dot py, and just to go type CMD in the search, say enter, and give this Python, and give the entire file path where exactly it is present. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code. But here we are writing the code at one place. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. We're writing the code at one place and executing. We're writing the code at one place within the notepad you are writing. Yes. And executing at the other place. Where you are writing within the command prompt. And executing at the other place command prompt. But to write and execute, to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? We have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation. Which comes along with Python installation. Using which we can write and execute. We can write and execute at the same place. Which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. So here we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But for writing and executing at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. So how to open this IDLE, right? In the bottom search, right? Type IDLE. Type IDLE and say, select this IDLE Python 3.12. Select it, right? That's it. A Python shell is going to get opened, right? Python shell is got opened. Within that file, new file, you can say. So otherwise, another way of opening this is go to the start programs, check your all apps where all your applications are installed. Go to this Python 3.12. Say this ideally Python 3.12. Directly you can say in the search. In the search also you can say ideally, your ideally gets open. So ideally, whenever you install Python, you will get this ideally, right? Check this, right? Whenever you install Python, you will get this ideally. Just to say ideally in search. In ideally in search. Even in Mac OS, you can search. Ideally Python 3.12 you get. Say enter. That's it. Python shell gets open. But here you won't see the run option. But whenever you say file, new file, you can see the run option here, right? You can write your code, execute your code here. X value is 10, Y is 5. Print X plus Y. Print X into Y. Print X by Y, right? Yes. You can write any code right here. Save this code. Right. File, save. Save it. Just I'm saving it within the seed, right? Python 10 p.m., right? Python 10 p.m. batch. Sample2.py. Sample2.py, right? Yes. And here itself, you can run here. Run module. 10 plus 5, 10 minus 5, 10 into 5, 10 by 5. You can write the code and you can execute the code here itself, right? Yes. Okay. writing here itself and run module executing itself. So ideally, right? So in the search panel, you can type IDLE to get this. Otherwise, even go to the start programs. Here you can see all apps where your all applications are installed. You can see in that go to P Python 3.12. If you expand it, the first thing what you get is ideally get open it. In that you need to say file, new file. Can write here, we can run option is available here, right? Yes. Okay, next, I'll give introduction to this data types or variables, right? 1 second. For Linux, anyone running in Linux environment, say Python 3 in your terminal, in your Linux terminal, say Python 3, the file name, for example, sample1.py. In the terminal, if you get it executes. Okay. Python 3, if you say, not required there. And in the Linux environment, if you want to install ideally also, right? Sudo apt -install ideally Python 3.12. This command. If anyone working in Linux, if you want ideally, right, to be in sudo apt -install ideally Python 3.12. Okay, this is going to install ideally within this. For Mac OS, automatically it will install. You can see in the search, ideally you can see, right? Fine. Okay. Data types, just I'll give data types, and variables, right? Yes. Every organization, right? Every organization use case. Every organization use case has got every organization use case has got data and operations. Data and operations. Data represented, observe, data represented using data types or variables. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented, right? Operations represented using functions. Observe, every organization has got a data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. Take any organization, for example, any organization if you take like a bank. Bank has got data and operations. Data means like customer data, customer name, customer account number, customer address, balance, branch, right? Operations, customer operations, withdraw operations, deposit operation, withdraw operation, deposit operation, transfer operations, right? So data by using data types or variables, operations using functions. Later we discuss about functions, but now data types or variables. Just I take 5 minutes more. So here, uh, if we compare C or C++ or Java with Python, Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports what? Dynamic data types. See, in other programming language, if you say x equal to 10, with compulsory without this data type int, you cannot create a y equal to 4.5. Without this data type, we cannot, without this data type, we cannot create this variable x. Without this, we cannot create. So compulsory z equal to hello means compulsory we need to give the data type. So here data type defining is compulsory, right? Data type defining. Without this data type, this x cannot be created. Without this data type, y cannot be created. Yes, compulsory. This data type defining is compulsory in other programming. But in Python, directly I can say x as 10. Directly I can say y as 4.5. Directly I can say z as hello. No need to define the data types in Python, right? No need to define the data types here. So here, what kind of variable x is means based on this data type you are saying, right? It is integer type. What kind of variable y is means you are saying it is float type. What kind of variable z is means you are saying it as string type. But what kind of variable x is here means what value you have assigned to it. If you are assigning a integer value, integer variable is created. If you are assigning a float value, float variable created. If you are assigning a string value, string variable created, right? So there is a function given type of x. Type of x is what type? Int type, because you have assigned a integer value. Type of y is what type? Type of y is what? Float type. Type of z is what type? String type, right? So based upon what value you are assigned, right? Based on the value assigned, yes, type of x is int, type of y is float, type of z is string. So just I'm going to discuss some cases now. So to make you understand much better about these data types and variables, how internally they are created. What case one? Whenever you say x equal to 10, what happens internally, right? One object is created with value 10 with some address. It is going to occupy some address location within the memory. This address is given to x. What x is storing? Don't say x is storing 10. X stores this address. Whenever I say print x, here three things you need to understand. Whenever I say print x, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. What is the content at that address? 10. Print x means goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Prints the content. If I say print ID of x, prints the address of x. Prints the address of x. What is the address? There is a function given by Python, ID function. ID of x prints the address of x 103070. Yes. Type of x. Type of x will be what type? Prints the data type of x. Prints the data type of x. What is the data type? Integer type. Okay. So you need to understand these three things, right? How to print the content? Print x. How to print the address? Where exactly it is stored, ID of X. How to print the data type, type function, type of X. Understood, right? These three things you need to understand, right? Yes. Now observe this case 2. Now, everyone, you can unmute yourself and try to give your responses here. Whenever I say X equal to 10, Y equal to 20, try to say everyone how many objects are created. So you can give your responses through voice or through chart
Two
panel.
objects. Two objects.
Two objects, right? 10 for this 20, one more object with value 20 is created, right? Two objects are created. It is going to have its address. The address is given to X. And observe here for this 104090, this address is given to Y. Try to answer here. Print X. What is the X value it is going to print? Everyone.
10. 10.
10. Print address of X.
103070.
103070. Everyone, you can unmute yourself and you can respond, right? Or you can type your response in the chat otherwise. Type of X is what type?
Int.
Integer type. Now see this print Y. What is the Y value?
20.
20. Address of Y.
104090.
4090. Yes. Type of Y, right?
Int.
Integer type. Okay. Two different variables with two different values. Two different objects gets created with two different addresses. Understand this, right? Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir. If we insert X equal to 10 and X equal to 20, if we print X, what is the value? 10 or 20?
X equal to 10. 1 second. You repeat once again.
X equal to 10 and X equal to 20.
Okay. That is the next case what I'm going to discuss, right? So
Okay.
I'll come back to your query. Case 3. Observe this case 3. Just I'll take 2 more minutes. Whenever I say X equal to 10, Y equal to 10, Z, okay. Z also 10, right? How many objects are created? Everyone try to respond. X, Y, Z. How many objects are
3.
created? Observe carefully, everyone. Here only one object is created. This address is given to X. Before creating object for Y, it checks any object with value 10 if it is already available. If already available, the same address will be given. The same address will be given to Z. X is 10, Y is 10, Z is 10. So only one object. Don't think like 10, 10, 10. 3 objects will be created. No. Only one object will be created. That address will be given to X. That address will be given to Y and Z. So all the 3 variables X, Y, and Z, they are sharing the same content 10. They are sharing the same address. If X value is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30. How many objects, right?
Then it will be 3.
3 objects there. Now here all the content is same means one object. If the contents are different, 3 objects. Now observe print X, print Y, print Z. They are going to print 10 only. Address also, right? Address of X, address of Y, and address of Z. 103070. Okay, that is case 3. Just now observe this case 4, right? Just now someone asked this case. If x value is 10 and x only, x value to 20. Now here for 10, one object is created with value 10 with some address. The address given to x. For 20 also one object will be created with some address. The address is given. But up to here it's fine. But what is, if I say print x, what is the x value it prints? 10 or 20 or both? What is it?
20.
Always it prints the latest value, right? Always it is going to print the latest value 20. And the print address of x means it will print 104090. So x equal to 20 means, so immediately this previous object gets removed. X can store only one object, one value. X can store only one address. X can store only one value. X can store one address. It cannot store two things, right? Whenever a new x is modified to 20, the previous one gets removed. If you say x equal to 30, means when 30 is created, 20 gets removed, right? Fine. These 4 cases, everyone have you understood these 4 cases? Right. Case 1, printing the value, printing the address, printing the type. Case 2, right? 2 different values, 2 different objects, 2 different addresses. Case 3, 10, 10, 10, only one object, one address. And this one, 10 and 10. The previous one gets removed, only x equal to the latest one will be taken, right? So, okay. So we'll discuss more in the tomorrow session, the data types. So you can follow the same link, same time tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last session. Day after tomorrow, the link is going to change, right? So everyone, see this course content, quickly have a look on this course content. Python basics, operations, operators, IDEs, flow controls, looping statements, strings, collections, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, functions, modules, packages, errors, exception, file handling, object-oriented concepts, regular expression, database connectivity, date and time, OS module, advanced concepts, iterator, generator, closers, decorators, web scraping, pip, graphic, TK Inter module, Excel module, data analytics, introduction to data science, Pandas module, NumPy module, Matplotlib. Right? This is the 30 topics for Python core and advanced. And people who go for full stack like framework, right? The Django framework, introduction, web frameworks, the Django installation, project architecture, applications, creations, views, templates, the Django admin, the Django models, and also you'll be given knowledge on UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and database like MySQL, right? And you will be given knowledge on Flask framework. Yes. So yes, people for Python, it takes nearly 70 hours, 2 months duration. 5,000 is the course fee. For Python full stack, right? Python core advanced, this UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Flask framework, the Django framework, REST APIs project. This is going to be covered. So the duration will be like 4 months for that full stack. 10,000 is the course fee, right? Yes. And tomorrow you can attend the session. You can see more on this. Today we have seen, right? Python software foundation, Python versions, installations, execution modes, right? And data types introduction. Tomorrow you can see more on this. Day after tomorrow, link will be changing. So whenever you do see, can you see in the chart panel? Can you see in the chart, right? You can see the course contents, the payment details, right? Contact details of the online team. Contact details and this payment details. Okay, fine. So I'll stop for now. We'll continue to any queries you got before that, anyone? Any queries you got? Okay. So I want the sessions to be more interactive from tomorrow, right? Anyone you can unmute and you can ask the queries. You can respond, right? Through voice or through chat. Fine. So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow. More discussion on this.